Welcome back to Square Off. Democrat Jevin Hodge nearly pulled off the biggest upset of the 2020 election. He lost a Southeast Valley race for the Maricopa County Board to a Republican politician with years of experience. The margin? Less than 500 votes of almost 500,000 ballots cast. Now Jevin Hodge could be poised to pull off another upset. He's aiming higher this time. He's taking on six-term Republican Congressman David Schweikert of Fountain Hills in the new First Congressional District. It covers parts of Phoenix, Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, and beyond. The redrawn district map is bluer than Schweikert's former district. It's rated highly competitive with a slight edge to the Republican. Democratic President Joe Biden would have won this redrawn district by a single point. Joining us now is Jevin Hodge. Welcome back to Square Off.
Well, it's a great honor to be with you today, Bram.
And you just got a piece of pretty good news. The influential Cook Political Report rates this race a toss-up.
That's exactly right.
Just 3 weeks before early ballots go out. What do you see going on in the first district?
Folks are excited, they're motivated, they're energized, and they want new leadership here in Arizona's first district. I mean, people are poised and enthused about what is happening currently in the political environment, and they have a desire and appetite for somebody who's actually going to represent them and not be beholden to special interests.
Now let's give folks tell folks a little bit about your background, because you're still relatively new on the political scene. You run a major Head Start program.
Right. I'm the president of the Booker T. Washington Child Development Center. It's the state's longest running Head Start. In addition to that, I'm a business leader. I get to work with organizations of all sorts where I help mission-driven organizations execute their goals to deliver for their communities. But all in all, I'm a problem solver. I'm a unifier and somebody who's going to be able, in the United States Congress, to bring people together to deliver for the American people.
You narrowly lost that first race by the narrowest of margins. You didn't fight it, though.
403 votes. And the reason why I didn't fight it is because I trusted the individuals who counted our ballots. The election was real. The election and the individuals that were operating the election did so with dignity and integrity, and I trust the process.
So what did you learn from that first run for office? Because ironically enough, you would have represented more people as a county supervisor than you would as a member of
Nearly
Congress.
1 million people.
What did you learn from that race?
Every vote counts. Every opportunity counts. And not to be cliche, but every effort, every ounce that you're allocating to this, the endeavor, it matters, right? And when you have a race where nearly 500,000 ballots are cast and it's decided by less than 0.1% with 403 votes, anything could have changed the outcomes of this election. But I know, like I said, I trusted the individuals who counted our ballots and the voters who participated, and they spoke, and we move forward from there.
So draw the sharpest contrast you can between you and Congressman David Schweikert.
David Schweikert is a convicted criminal and crook who is bought and paid for by special interests. You have an individual with 11 ethical violations who is misusing taxpayer dollars, first-class travel, Super Bowl tickets, and an individual who is not representing the interest of the American people and the people of Arizona. And folks want a unifier, somebody who's going to work with both parties to lower costs, to modernize the tax system, and to bring jobs and inspire innovation here in the Valley. David Schweikert's costing you money, and he's costing you opportunity.
So language matters. I know political language can get kind of loose, but David Schweikert has not been convicted of anything.
He's been censured by the entire...
That's not a criminal conviction. I'll be very careful there with what we're saying. He was not convicted of anything, correct?
Well, he has been fined by the FEC.
But he has not been convicted of anything.
It has been stated, it has been known, and
I hear what you're saying about elections, and I think that's honorable, but he hasn't been convicted of anything.
Well, we can agree.
Okay. Okay. Like any Democratic candidate, you face strong headwinds in this race. Inflation in the Phoenix area is the highest in the country. People your age are having a really hard time paying for a place to live.
Yeah.
Families struggling to pay for groceries. Has Joe Biden failed in keeping inflation down?
Well, here's what it comes down to. Arizona families are hurting right now, and we have initiatives going through the United States Congress right now that will bring economic innovation to the Valley. You look at the CHIPS Act, you look at the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. We need to focus on how can we inspire local economic innovation, right, so that we can bring jobs and opportunities to the Valley and lower cost for individuals. You look at capping the cost of prescription drugs. You look at capping the cost of insurance premiums. David Schweikert has voted no on every initiative that would support Arizona families. And what we need right now is a leader in the United States Congress that's going to work to deliver for Arizonans, to put more dollars in people's pockets so that we can continue to charge forward. We're coming out of the pandemic. We're doing so gracefully. With any situation, right, there will be bumps and hiccups, but we are on the right path, and we need a leader in the United States Congress that's going to be able to deliver for Arizona families.
This is a pretty big hiccup. Even the Congressional Budget Office agrees that the Inflation Reduction Act won't have an effect this year and likely not even next year. So has the president done his job in helping to keep inflation down?
The president is working to deliver for American families, and there is always opportunity and room for growth. There is always opportunity and room for growth, but he needs members of Congress that are willing to work amongst themselves to deliver for the American families. And so it's, you know, we have three branches of government for a reason. We need leaders in the United States Congress that is going to roll up their sleeves and get the job done. And you got someone in me who's going to work with independents, Democrats, Republicans alike to ensure that we're delivering for American families.
Name one piece of legislation you would work on to help improve the lives of folks in your district.
Oh, I can give you a number of them.
Just one, please.
You got it. Well, we need to fully fund early childhood education for every family in this country. And so by doing so, we are going to be able to provide early childhood education that's going to ensure that every child in this country has an opportunity at a successful life. It is proven to be economically advantageous for all families, and it's going to help support the families and parents in need. And regardless of what zip code you come from, every child deserves an opportunity to have a solid future.
The district is many, many miles from the border, but you're going to need to win over Republican and independents to win. Rate the Biden administration's performance in managing the border.
Well, I'll say this. Unlike David Schweikert, I will stand up to members of my own party, and President Biden could do more on this issue. We need to ensure that we have a safe and secure border. We need to ensure that we're doing so in a way that's going to benefit the people of Arizona. And right now, we could be doing more. We could be doing more, and I'm going to be that leader that's going to make sure that we do so.
Okay, and another leadership question. Rio Verde Foothills is in your district. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of households there face the loss of their water supply at the end of the year. Yeah. What would you do about it as a member of Congress? So
right now, we need to ensure that we are having real conversations, not just to address the 50-year solution, but to identify a pathway to the 5-year solution. And that starts by, number one, holding California accountable for their water usage. And we need to make sure that right now, Arizona's getting their fair allocation.
How does holding California accountable for their water usage, which is a long-term project, help those folks right now? Because they're going to need help January 1st.
Right, you're exactly right. They need help on January 1st, and we need to make sure that we are identifying those realistic solutions to do so. How do we limit the use of individuals that provide an opportunity to zero-scape their front lawns? Or how do we, from the federal government's perspective, ensure that we're supporting cities and towns in the surrounding area to incentivize their residents to cut down on their water usage? And then you look at opportunities like in the district, we have miles and miles of canals, for example, right? How do we ensure that we are identifying new pathways to eliminate the drought and water usage from other areas, putting solar panels over such, right? So that we can identify a pathway forward. It's going to take us, like I said, rolling up our sleeves. We have the educational talent, we have the infrastructure talent that's here to identify a solution moving forward, but it's going to take all of us rolling up our sleeves, getting down and dirty, and doing the work to ensure that we're finding a solution. It's going to be a bipartisan, right, multi-governmental operation. But unless everyone's in the room having the conversation, we're never going to be able to get there.
I know TikTok has come to play a large role in political campaigns this year, and including yours. And so I want to put up a cameo video you posted on TikTok of 90-year-old Joe Arpaio, former Maricopa County Sheriff, who would be a constituent of yours if you win. You posted this on your TikTok account. Arpaio is lecturing someone named Dave. Let's listen.
Hey, Dave, I keep hearing from your friends that you keep having run-ins with the law.
And your campaign paid for that?
We did.
And I think it cost $35.
$35.
What do you want people to take away from that?
David Schweikert, we are working to identify creative and innovative ways to highlight David Schweikert's 11 ethical violations. Joe Arpaio has done, is a convicted criminal and crook. I said it again. Joe Arpaio has been nothing but bad for our community. David Schweikert has not delivered for our community in any way, shape, or form. And we're looking for innovative and creative ways to bring the 11 ethical violations to surface so that folks understand and know what is happening with their representative that they have in the United States Congress.
But just to be clear for viewers, Joe Arpaio in those cameo videos, you paid $35. He has no idea.
We paid $35. We provided the script, and it was a business transaction.
He has no idea who Dave is.
He might not.
He might. All right. Boy, times have changed. Jevin Hodge, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck.
I appreciate it, Brem. Thanks for having me on.
You can see all of our Sunday Square Off coverage on our YouTube channel. Go to 12news.com/YouTube.